Hello everyone and welcome to episode 7 of Rewriting the Past with WCW in 1998. We are playing Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 and we are ready for another Nitro and Thunder. It's going to be a good one. We've got tiny news to talk about beforehand. We have decided, when I find it, to adjust our deal with Gala TV. So I've discovered what the issue was. We were on prime time on Gala, and they wanted an 80, what was it? It was like an 86 or something they wanted for a Nitro. That would explain why Nitro was always having issues on Gala TV. So we've moved it to late night. Need a 60 or whatever that said there, so hopefully we won't have that message anymore, and hopefully we'll keep our TV deal in Mexico. Other than that, nothing really to add. We are going to bring in the Hardys, Matt and Jeff. 23-year-old Matt Hardy, very solid already. And then we've got a 20-year-old. 20-year-old Jeff Hardy. I don't think we're going to use them. Apologies if my TV was a bit loud there. I don't think we're going to use them immediately. We'll probably send them out to JPW just to get some ring time, and then we'll bring them in at some point going forward. But yeah, other than that, I think we're good to go. Davey Boy Smith is leaving tomorrow, and as far as I'm concerned, good riddance. You've done nothing for us. You've moaned, bitched, complained. Goodbye. Money, we've already clawed back about $1 million from spending that money on the training facilities, so that's always good. And yeah, we're going to get right into some Nitro. We've got a referee who's not very good. Backstage incident, here we go. Riggs, Wrestler's Court, that's fine, not an issue. Let's go to the Tri-State, and we shall go to... the temptation to do Madison Square Garden, but we're going to do the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. And we're going to open the show with Sting. And he's going to talk about Randy Savage, and he's also going to talk about Lex Luger. Both off screen. We've all pillaged their overness though. And it's just going to be quite simple. Sting arrives. Let's see. Sting arrives. And what does he want to do? What does he want to do exactly? Talks briefly about Macho and Lex. Says he will be in action tonight. That'll do. Don't really know what he's going to do tonight, but he'll do something. We will then open with a singles match. We're going to get Rey Mysterio on so we can get this gimmick change completed. And we'll have him face off against... Who can Rey beat? That's not going to be a huge deal. I think Rey versus Louis Piccoli could be pretty decent, so we'll do Rey Louis. Give it 6, we'll have Rey take the win. Script that, make it decisive for him as well. That just continues that along a little bit, and we will just have Eddie come down and basically beat Rey up. Selling, we'll do entertainment, we'll script the charisma. And we'll just be very simple. Eddie comes down post-match and beats up Rey. Very easy, very straightforward. No real exciting, like, oh my god, sort of stuff, but it's just furthers that match along a little bit. We're then going to have Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They're going to arrive separately tonight. So outsiders arrive, put out the hit on Steiners. Double entertainment for those two. And then we will actually have the Steiners in action. They can take on the Public Enemy. Have we done that? No, we haven't. Good. We'll give it 7. Rick can get the win. Make it open. We'll give the Public Enemy some offense, but not much. And then post-match, we are going to have Ted on the mic, and we need to script him on this one as well. Let's not forget that. Scott, Rick, Kevin, and Scott. And will they be mad if we script them? But let's see. So DiBiase calls out outsiders. Outsiders come to top of ramp to share some words. I suppose Kev can be without a script. Hopefully it doesn't bring the angle down too much. Another angle, we're going to have Ric Flair, Gene Okerlund. Very simple. I guess we need to script Rick, so it didn't work last week. Flair wants to be Bret's tag partner at Super Brawl. We'll make Bret. There we go. I did put him off screen, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, so that's all well and good. Now, apologies, I had to just have a little cough there. What do we want to do? Do another angle? Yeah, we're going to have Lex. Once again, call out Hollywood Hogan. Lex calls out Hogan. Again, no answer. And then a match we'll have, who have we not used? We have Benoit in singles action. And Benoit can take on Mortis. Could be good. We'll do Steve Regal, actually. How are we cracking wee 10-minute match in the middle of the show? Because the thing with Benoit is, I should vote all out as well, why not? The thing with Benoit is that he's obviously very good at this time period. I mean, if we look at Benoit, like he's great. This will get him another win. That'll keep building up to that DDP match as well. We won't bother having a promo about that. We'll just change. We're going to actually have the Giant interview with Gene Okerlund, and I'm going to take a risk here. So the Giant speaks about Raven and the Flock, vows to destroy the Flock over the coming weeks. And we'll just have that be about Raven as well. And then we'll do another promo. We're going to have Buff and Scott Norton talk about Goldberg. We'll take a chance here. We'll have them be off screen. So Buff and Buff and Norton actually talk about Goldberg. Say they aren't scared, and we'll put him down. And we'll have Goldberg. So we did Vincent last week. And we're going to do, I guess, Scott Norton, actually. If they're talking about it, we'll do that. We'll do six. This is 6. A little bit competitive. Give Goldberg a bit of a challenge, but we'll keep him strong. Have Goldberg go over as well. And then we'll have Bret, Rick, Gene, and we'll have them all. We're just going to take the risk with Rick this time. Bret speaks with me and Gene. Is hesitant about accepting Flair's offer. Flair comes out to convince him, or convince High, as we've got there. Then we're going to have Sting in a match. Pretty simple one, actually. We'll have Sting, and he can take on. So he's facing Savage at the pay-per-view. Do we do Sting? Sting Buff? Sting Buff might not be a bad idea. Have we done Sting Hall? No. We'll do Sting Hall, actually. Make it open. We'll script it and we'll make it decisive. Give it 10. I'm not putting the belt online, obviously. And then post-match, we're going to have Randy Savage and Sting. Savage comes down to take out Sting, ends up in stalemate, the end of the standoff. Like one of them outside the ring, one of them inside the ring. And then we need 6 more minutes. We need a match, realistically, here. So we're going to move things forward a bit. We're going to have Lex in a match. And we're just going to have Lex take out Conan. We'll give it 8. Lex will get the win. Script it because it's got Lex and Conan in it. Won't be penalised. So if we take that to there. Yeah, that works. We don't have Hogan on the show again. But that's fine. I can live without Hogan being on the show. So, let's do some pre-show. We'll have Harlem Heat. Do we have Harlem Heat? Yeah, we'll have Harlem Heat. They can take on the exciting tag team of Black Cat and Barry Darsow. Woohoo, buddy. I mean, what a match that is. We're going to give Stevie Ray the win here. It's not going to be open. They can just dominate that match for 10 minutes. We'll do another tag match as well. Let's just get some bodies on the show. We'll get the Faces of Fear. We'll give them a little win. They can beat Super Kalo and the outgoing Ultimo Dragon, who has just completely disappeared from television since he lost the Cruiserweight title. But that's fine. And I think that'll do it for pre-show. Don't think there's any need to do anything else. Decent show. I've kind of haphazardly put this one together a little bit, but I can live with it. Hopefully it'll do just well enough. And we do get a 47 to open the show as Harlem Heat defeat Black Cat and Barry Darsow, so we're down to 1 Black Cat appearance left. And the Faces of Fear beat Super Clo and Ultimo Dragon. Ultimo Dragon off his game, so that's a reason why we're getting rid of him. Well, why he's leaving and we didn't want to renew his contract. The show opens with Sting arriving. He talks briefly about Macho and Lex and says he will be in action tonight. Very, very simple. We have Rey Mysterio Jr. defeating Louis Piccoli in a 54-weight match. Rey Mysterio Jr. off his game again. The gimmick change has received another initial rating of poor, but is likely to raise as time goes on. Rey Mysterio really I'm struggling with Rey at the moment. I don't know why, because Rey is one of the most consistent, reliable wrestlers, but especially TV wrestlers of all time. And it is what it is. Really rubbish angle as Eddie comes down and beats Rey up as well, but let's just move on. Nash and Hall arrive. They put the hit out on the Steiners, who are up next, and they do defeat the Public Enemy in 7-14 with the Steinerizer. Good performances from both Steiners, even though Scott was off his game, but still good performances by both of them. And then afterwards, we do have Ted DiBiase calling out the Outsiders, who come to the top of the ramp, and they just share some words back and forth a little bit. Nash struggled. Rick Steiner underperformed, but 6-8 overall, it's alright. Can't really complain. Ric Flair then comes to the top of the ramp with Mean Gene Okerlund after the ad break, and he says, look, I understand why Bret might not trust me, but he needs to trust me here. We need to team up together to take on Hennig and Rude. Lex Luger then does a masterful job in improvising with an 88 overall rated segment as well, as he calls out Hogan again to no answer. Hogan not in the building again. He's just having some time off still. We'll bring him back eventually, before the match at least. But yeah, Lex getting increasingly frustrated with everything around him at the moment. And have 75 rated match as just a little build up to the US title. Chris Benoit defeats Steven Regal in 10 minutes with the Crippler crossface. Great performance by Benoit, very good performance by Regal as well. Yep, 75. It was pretty much a guaranteed banger, that one. Another good segment here. The Giant struggled off script, but that's fine. He does come out, he speaks with Mean Gene about Raven and the Flock, and basically after what happened last week, he is going to get his revenge on the Flock one by one over the coming weeks before finishing off with Raven, who he knows is a coward. Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton are then backstage. They talk about Goldberg and basically pump themselves up before Goldberg defeats Scott Norton in 5 minutes 48 with the spear. Ideally the jackhammer. I don't know why he's only winning with the spear all the time, but it is what it is. 64 overall rated. Good little match. Good performance by both guys. Happy with that. Lex Luger then defeats Conan in 8:25, so Lex getting some momentum on the go with a good win. 74 overall rated match as well, which I'm really happy about. Despite both guys only having 66 in-ring ratings. Can't complain. We then have Bret speaking with Mean Gene Okerlund, saying, look, help would be very useful against guys like Henry Goodwood and then obviously the NWO in general. And he doesn't really want Rick's help because he doesn't trust Rick. Rick then comes out and says, look, I understand why you wouldn't trust me. I've done some heinous things in my past, but Hitman, I'm here to help. And it looks like Hart's convinced, but not quite. Not quite yet. 77 overall main event match as well as Sting defeats Scott Hall in 10 minutes with the Scorpion Deathlock. A good little match, good performance by both guys. Yep, just Sting getting a win over an NWO member before he is then sort of attacked by Macho Man. 92 rated segment as well, which is excellent. Savage comes down. Sting sort of like chases him off a little bit with the bat, and they have like a war of words stare down pointing. Sting's got the bat. You know how it goes. Pretty simple. And we get 83 overall Nitro, our best Nitro or Thunder ever. And look at this. We haven't lost popularity in any region for the first time ever. 27 regions have gained popularity. No one has lost. About bloody time we had a good show as far as I'm concerned. Like ratings wise. We've been building some good stuff. I know it's quite a simple thing what we're doing at the moment. We're very much using pre-existing storylines and the roster that we've got. We've obviously not brought anybody in yet. We're getting a month and a half in. We've not signed anybody, but that's fine. Davey Boy's left. We got a 4.61. What did Raw do? Oh, a 68. Interesting show. Who the hell's Crime and Punishment? Barry Windham and Bradshaw. No, that's the new Blackjacks, obviously. Charles Wright and Ron Simmons. Okay. Stone Cold defeats Pantera in a match. That's interesting. Taka defeated Goldust defeated One Man Gang in a cage. Jeff Jarrett defeated Mark Merrow in a lad. What an odd show. Crushed us in the rating. But a very, very odd show. Let's have a look. Yeah, they did. They battered us in the rating by nearly over 2 million viewers. But you know, not too bad. Not too bad. We're chugging along nicely. I actually want to have a little look at Lex. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Continuing to go up points. He's going to go up even more by the end of this month. I'm actually really enjoying this Lex Luger storyline, you know. I know a lot of folk will go, oh, Lex Luger, why would you want to push Lex Luger in 1998 WCW? But you've got to think who our roster is and what we've got. We've got these big mega stars, so we need to use the big mega stars while underneath build up the guys. But rather than what WCW did in real life, which was, you know, stop Benoit, stop Jericho, stop Eddie, stop Booker for the longest time, we'll let those guys come up naturally. You know, we've got our old guard who are still doing bits for us. They're still very, very popular. We need to use them, is all I'm saying. But good show. Very good show. Let's go have an equally good Thunder, I think. And it is time to book Thunder. So I'm actually quite curious about this. CMLL, who we've got into an arrangement with, are very happy with it, apparently, despite the fact that they've done nothing with it so far. But, I mean, we should probably have a look at CMLL. I mean, they've fallen to medium size. Like, they've got, obviously, a lot of talent on this roster. Is it worth maybe poaching the odds sort of Lucha? Who's got some popularity in the US? Let's have a look. Well, not him. 20? Anybody? Liz Mark, who we've already got, and then Velvet McIntyre. 10? Yeah, I mean, like Atlantis obviously is very popular. A lot of these guys obviously are very popular in Mexico. Dr. Wagner Jr. might be an option. And they've obviously got El Pantera, who for some reason is getting lots of airtime in WWF. Felino. La Fiera. La Fiera's pretty good. I mean, I'd love to sign Negro Casas, but I don't think we've really got a plan for Negro Casas. Could sign the Young Shocker. Satana. Imagine if we got Satanic when he just started in bloody brawls. That would be amazing. What's his popularity in Mexico? 64. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We have now signed both Hardy brothers, and they are off to Jersey All Pro. We've passed them along. So the Jersey All Pro roster starting to get some of our guys. Gibson, Hardy, and Rhino. Have any of them been used yet? Yeah, Rhino was used on this show here. Beating Chino Martinez, Rhino with a 41 performance. Good stuff. So, we'll definitely keep an eye on all those guys going forward. But we're going to get Thunder booked. Black Cat has one appearance left on his contract, folks. We are going to be rid of Black Cat. He's not even that bad. It's just, why do we have this 43-year-old on loan for 3 appearances? Like, who does that benefit? I also just realised it's Wednesday. It's not even Thursday, and I'm sitting down about booking Thunder. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the Dick the Bruiser loading screen, I guess. Oh, Dick the Bruiser Jr. Sorry, not Dick the Bruiser. As we wait and wait and wait until the game loads. There we go. House show was held in the Great Lakes. Lovely. Hardcore TV. Decent stuff. I had a look at ECW's roster off camera. There's nobody I'm really that excited about on their roster, so I've not poached anyone yet. Vincent, Wrestler's Court, that's fine, who cares? And then we'll go to the Great Lakes, I guess, and we'll do the US Bank Arena in Cincinnati. Let's go to Cincinnati today for Thunder. Now we're going to kick Thunder off with a match, and it's going to be a pretty good match, I think, as we're going to have Ray and not Dean. Yeah, let's do Ray and Dean against Eddie and Chris Jericho. I'm going to give it 10, and we will have Eddie pick up the win, Dean taking the loss. And we'll script it and we'll make it tainted. Just a little high-flying sort of good match to start the show with. We are then going to have, finally, he's back on television. Hogan arrives at the building, looking pissed. And that's it. We're not going to have anyone else. We're not even going to have Bischoff. And then we're going to go right into another angle, and we're going to have Rick Rude's. We'll do success, why not? I keep forgetting to put success on for these segments. So Rude and Hennig talk about facing Bret and possibly Flair at pay-per-view. Say they don't stand a chance. We will have Bret and Rick not rated, but we will put their overness actually to just bump up that segment. A match now. We're actually going to have a little warm-up is Kurt Hennig, who's got cool momentum, so we'll give him some momentum back. He can take on Chavo. We've not used Glacier at all. Let's use Glacier. Just a warm body for Kurt to destroy, basically. Make scripted, decisive, won't make it open, no point in that. We're then going to have Hollywood Hogan again, this time with Gene Okerlund, talking about Lex. So Hogan is in the ring with Gene. Mean Gene says he is fed up of hearing from Lex. Will beat him at pay-per-view. Simple, easy, effective. Gets that sort of not out of the way, but like gets Hogan's end of it now. On the go, we'll get Martis and Raph. We've not booked them in a couple of weeks, and they can take on. Right, so Ricky Martel. I want to put Rick Martel in the tag team, but I don't know who with. Why do I feel like Rick Martel and Ray Traylor would be an absolute... Let's see if they've got chemistry. They're going to lose this match. But let's see if they've got any chemistry together. If they do, I feel like Traylor and Martel would be like a cracking tag team. Give it 7 minutes. We're then going to have Gene and Goldberg. Interrupted once again by Buff. We will script all three. No, we won't. Buff can deal with it. If he fails, he fails. Gene and Mean Gene, not Gene. Mean Gene interviews Goldberg before Goldberg can speak again. Buff interrupts and provokes. Spell the word provokes. It's not that difficult to spell. Jesus. We are then going to have Buff in a match. We'll give Buff a little win tonight. And he can take on Jim Neidhart, because again, we just need like a warm body. This match in real life would absolutely stink the joint out in 1998, by the way. My God, what am I just booking right now? DDP. Up next, talking with Chris Benoit. I'd love to put them in a tag match to build this up, but unfortunately, they have no chemistry. So DDP praises Benoit, says he looks forward to the challenge at pay-per-view. We'll have him be off overness. And then we'll have DDP in just a quick little match as well, because we've not actually had him wrestle that much. And he can beat... Who can he beat? Who can he? He can beat Finlay. We haven't done that, have we? No, we haven't. Nice little win for DDP over a similar wrestler to Chris Benoit, actually, which is probably makes sense as to why to do this. There we go. Nope, no title on the line. Up next, we have Randy Savage talking about the Sting Man and Roddy Piper. We're going to have them both be rated off screen. And be Savage says he will beat Sting, and if he ever sees Piper again, it will be the last time. I know we didn't actually do anything with Piper on Nitro, but we're going to keep Piper sort of loitering around in the background. We're actually going to have him... No, we're not. We're going to have... I know what we'll do. Ric Flair, Bret Hart, and Gene. Bret and Rick say tonight they will team up, and if Rick screws Bret, he will not kill him, but he will make sure Flair never forgets. Or never forge. There we go. We'll put him in a tag match actually. That'll be our main event tonight. So we'll do Bret and Rick. And they can take on... I could do the Outsiders, but it's another loss for Scott Hall if I do. So I think we'll just do a little jobber team. We'll do Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom. And we'll make it quite short. And we'll have Rick get the win. We'll script it and make it decisive. So it's not going to be our main event on that note. We will then have Sting talk about Randy Savage and mention Lex as well. Have them both in their overness. Sting on entertainment. Sting warns Savage to not get involved tonight in his tag match with Lex. And we're not going to do anything in this match with Lex and Sting, but we are setting the seeds still. So Sting and Luger in the main event will take on who? Do we actually do Rude and Hennig? Oh, Hennig's in action, isn't it? Conan? Or do... no, what, actually? We'll just do Nash and Hall. But we're going to have it be a schmoz. So, no winner. Open script. It's just going to be a sports entertainment finish. So the ref's just going to like lose control. We're going to have interference out the wahoo on this one. So interference. We're going to have Sting be attacked by Savage. Or the other way around. Yeah, that's the right way. What am I talking about? Luger attacked by Hogan. And then we're going to have Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner attack the Outsiders and just have it be a big old schmoz, as they call it. No winner. Hopefully keep... Actually, you know what? I'm going to add so many notes to this match. So we're going to keep Nash strong. Keep Luger. Keep Hall. Keep Sting. Keep them all strong as well. Yeah, that'll do. I'm happy with that. Who have I not used? Anybody important? The Giant? Raven? Yeah, I can live with that. We'll get we'll put the Giant and Raven on opposite ends of a tag match in the pre-show. We'll do Raven and Saturn. We'll do Giant and Benoit. Pretty cracking little match actually. We'll have the Giant take the win. Saturn can take the loss. Make it open, scripted, decisive as usual. And then we'll also have... Who do we have left? Who's got no momentum? Brad Armstrong, Chris Adams is cold. The Armstrongs are cold. McMichael, Super Colo. How about the heel side? Guys I don't really care about. Well, yeah, we've got quite a few people with cold momentum, but it's nobody that I'm really that bothered about in the grand scheme of things. So we'll give Steve Regal a win because he's got very cold momentum. So he can beat Prince Iaukea in 10 minutes. Decisive, open, and script. And I think that'll do for the pre-show as well. So let's get to this thunder, I think. So we got a 59 overall rated pre-show match as Steve Regal defeats Prince Iaukea in 10 minutes with the Regal stretch. Good match, good performance by Regal. Prince Iaukea continuing to be a pretty decent little hand, actually. I think I might... You know what? We're going to return to the booking screen for a moment. And where the hell am I going? Teams. Let's add a team. Let's do it. Dean Malenko and Prince Iaukea. They can be called, I don't know, Payback, winning combination. The Rough Riders. The stretchers is actually not too bad. If we assume, yeah, let's do the stretchers. Based off of the fact that how is your 55? Yeah, we'll live with that. Anyway, there we go. The stretchers are a new tag team, and then a 70 rated pre-show match, an excellent match actually. My God. As the Giant and Benoit defeat Raven and Saturn in 10:23 with a chokeslam. Show opens with Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dean Malenko being defeated by Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho, as Eddie hits Dean Malenko with the Cruiserweight title as the Cruiserweight and TV champion, get the win in an excellent match that opened the show. And finally, Rey Jr. with a good performance in the match, and he wasn't off his game. So, win-win. We then have Hogan coming back to WCW for the first time in 2 weeks since the pay-per-view, and he arrives, he is pissed. And that's pretty much it, but he did well, and we'll take that. 95 overall rated from the Hulkster, 81 rated from Rude and Hennig, as they talk about facing Bret and possibly Flair at the pay-per-view, but either way, those guys don't stand a chance against the NWO. Rick Rude again looking incredible. Hennig looking very good as well, 81. Beautiful stuff. And then the match afterwards was going to always be a bit rubbish, as Hennig defeats Glacier in just under 5 minutes with the Hennigplex. 73 rated for Curt Hennig though, so Curt Hennig continuing to be an absolute beast for us. Hogan then comes out to the ring, and Mean Gene is the lucky person to interview him, and Hogan says, "Look, brother, I am sick to death of Sexy Lexi talking about me, using my name to get himself over, brother." And so yeah, pretty simple. I'm looking forward to this match actually. I'm really optimistic that Hogan and Lex are going to do a great number at the pay-per-view, to the point where if I did classic WCW fashion, I could put it on last, but Sting Savage should draw a good rating as well. So I'll take it though. It's kind of a de facto number one contenders match in a sense, but also not really. But it is what it is. 83 overall, good stuff. 65 overall, as Mortis and Raph defeat Rick Martel and Ray Traylor in 8 minutes with the meltdown. Good match. Traylor and Martel pretty much the same level of skill in the ring. No obvious message about them having great chemistry, but I could do something with Martel and Traylor. I don't know what the hell they would do, but they could work something out with them. It could be a fun oddball tag team. We then have Mean Gene trying to interview Goldberg, and once again, Buff Bagwell interrupts and provokes Goldberg before sort of running away. And then once Goldberg is gone, he comes back to the ring and has a pretty boring match with Jim Neidhart, 5.5 minutes with the Blockbuster, to give Buff the win. Buff actually looking worse than Jim Neidhart. So that's good. DDP then struggled without a script as he praises Benoit, saying he looks forward to the challenge at Super Brawl against him before beating Finlay in an excellent match, 70 rated overall, DDP with a great performance. And this is like a prelude for DDP facing a very physical, roughhousing style wrestler like Finlay, very similar to Benoit, of course. Randy Savage then has his promo time and says, "Look, I first of all want to address Roddy Piper, and if I ever see that man again, it'll be the last time anyone will ever see him." And then he directs his attention towards Sting and says, "Stinger, at Super Brawl, there is going to be a new World Heavyweight Champion. The World Heavyweight title is coming back to the new World Order." And that's the end of that. We then have another great segment as Bret Hart and Ric Flair say tonight they will team up, and if Rick screws Bret, that will be something he will never forget. 86 overall rating. Everyone looking very good. Beautiful stuff. Their match gets a 74 as they both have tremendous in-ring performances as they defeat Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos in 8:16. Ric Flair with the figure 4 leg lock. Yeah, considering I had nothing planned for Ric Flair, I actually feel like this Bret and Rick storyline's pretty good so far. Let me know what you think, but I think it's pretty good. Sting then warns Randy Savage not to get involved tonight in this match with Lex, and basically because him and Lex are back on good terms. And then this happens. We get 73 overall. So it's good enough that I think we should possibly still get a 77, 78 rated show. As Sting and Luger drew with the Outsiders in 10:33 when the match basically completely fell apart. Savage, Hogan, and the Steiners all got involved. It was a big shamash, and yeah, everybody was very similar in ring ratings as well. Handle changes. We're not. Is that to turn Lex? Yeah, we're not doing that just yet. And yeah, good show. We got an 80. Increased our popularity in 7 regions. I'm happy with that. I thought we'd be a little bit lower, so 80 is absolutely delighted with. And I think it's a pretty good show. I think we've advanced a lot of storylines really well. I think our main event scene in particular is really good. You can again let me know what you think. I think in terms of booking realistically for the time period, I think like having Hogan not be on TV every week is obvious. And I think the Lex Luger storyline I think is really fun. Bret and Rick, really good as well. And oh god, what have we got going on now? So Dusty Rhodes thinks Chris Jericho's money. Nash doesn't think IOK has got anything. Ric Flair's building a clique between him, Arn Anderson, and Sting. And Nash is building his between him, Scott Steiner, and Scott Hall. And Thunder gets a 2.3. Which, is that the best rating Thunder's ever got? How do I find that out? Broadcasting. Nope. How the hell do I figure that out? Thunder? There we go. No. Just to do it this way, I guess. Ordered by... Yeah, so Thunder 2.13, 2.07, 2.09, 1.92, 1.86, yeah. It's our best ever Thunder rating by a distance. Really good. Really, really good. Really happy with how this is all looking as well. We've got 5 storylines that are considered hot as well, which is great. Ric Flair looking tremendous. Rick Martel and Ray Traylor. Do we want... I mean, he's an occasional wrestler, Rick Martel, apparently. Can we change that to make him an actual wrestler? No, we can't. Maybe we don't put them in a tag team then. We'll see. Ray Jr., what are you doing? Absolutely nothing. Going up maybe a point. Great. I'm slightly worried about that match with Eddie. I think Eddie's going to carry it. Something good. But it is a real concern. What's Randy Savage's pop? 81, 80. Yep, that's going slightly up as well, which is beautiful. Lex, where are you, my son? My beautiful man. Yeah, it's going to have a couple of points as well. I think Lex, we should get into the 80s by the end of the month. So, really, really, I'm really looking forward to Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a cracking show. Like, Goldberg buff. We all know what's going to happen there. This is buff just a body for Goldberg to get through. Everything else, I think there's a lot of potential here. Will there be any turns at the pay-per-view? I mean, I may have alluded to one potentially happening with what I described earlier. Luger Hogan, I think, is going to be excellent. Sting Savage is going to be excellent. It's a good show. It's a very good show. But that's going to be the end of it for this episode. Hopefully you're still enjoying it. I can see my voice. I'm loving it. I think it's great. WWF's had Sid Vicious, which is interesting. I was tempted by it, but I didn't end up doing it, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. They've got 16 million in the bank. What have we got? Just under 15. So yeah, we're pretty close. Our prestige is good, our momentum's good. We're obviously ranked 2nd in the world. We're not losing any more popularity now, and we are still gaining it everywhere else. I mean, Canada, we're up to 71. Yeah, still the same numbers, but we're doing some good bits here. Sting's still our figurehead. He is he's significantly overshadowed. That's as Bret is. Sting, he is still significantly overshadowed as well, but that's fine. He's having a negative effect upon business as well. And not ideal, but yeah, it is what it is. He was this month's merchandise top seller currently by about 30 grand, so that's good. Anyway, I'm rambling. See you guys in 2 days' time for another 2 episodes of Nitro and Thunder, and it's going to be a good one as we continue the build to Super Bowl. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.